What is up, guys? It is Mitchell or Deity. If you've been watching any of my content over the last month or probably 2 months, I've been talking about a game that's coming called Etheria Restart. Well, we're in it. I got a dev account. I played in a tournament recently for it. I'm going to give my opinions of the game, the good and the bad. The bad I'll kind of save toward the end of it, just to be fair to everybody who is excited for the game. But Etheria Restart is going to be a PvP style gacha, which is awesome because all the PvP style gachas right now are on a long life cycle. They've been out 6 years, 10 years. This, if you want to get into a PvP gacha, maybe you've tried some of the other games in the past and you felt too far behind, we'll all be at an even playing point with this game. Now, there will be a open beta coming out in May. It's May 8th. And then past that, the full game will release early June. I think it's like June 8th. I don't know the exact dates. I'll try to put them in the description, but the game is coming soon. I will be playing the beta. I will be making content over it and showing off everything I can to get you guys into the game. I am probably going to do a new player guide series just like I do with every game if you guys are interested in following along and playing with me. So this game, again, PvP style gacha, but it does have pretty good PvE. I played the betas and the progression felt really good. In terms of character skills, it's the same as every other PvP gacha. You're going to have your different like class exclusive buffs that you can get or character exclusive buffs, as well as the general decreased attack, decreased defense, turn, skill reset, things like that. So if you ever played a PvP gacha, it's going to be almost exactly the same, but certain characters do have special abilities that, as you see here, the one I was just on, Gift Shroud Barrier, it's just immunity plus barrier to your team. It's nice, but either way, the gameplay feels the same as any other PvP gacha is what I'm trying to say. With that tournament, it felt identical. Click the link in the description right now to get the Void Legendary Champion Supreme Gallic right away by entering promo code Supreme6, as well as 4 other additional epic champions as you progress. What you need to do, you need to log out of Player and Play on your PC and uninstall. Then click the link down in the description, reinstall using a new email. From there, complete the tutorial, then go to your mailbox. That's where you're going to receive your Supreme Gallic, as well as Tagore, Ugo, Rector Drath, and Fane as you progress your account. Don't miss your chance to get an amazing start in Raid, and click my link right now. So each character, I am going to go in and show a stage, but that's what the skill kits are. I'll show a couple of characters. Messiah is super cool. He reminds me of Moonlight Ken from Epic 7, which is the reason I started Epic 7. So this character is one I really hope I get soon. There are Moonlight characters. You can see the different elements here. It's constant and disorder. It's what I will call Moonlight characters, or LD, light dark, if you're Summer Zor. Overall, feels pretty good. You can see the advantages. It gives you all the information here, which is nice. There are some things I'm still curious about in terms of landing debuffs. So effect res versus effect res check. I'm still trying to learn what the exact thing there is. Those of you guys that are watching right now that see this Messiah build, this was just a meme build I did for the tournament and it didn't work. I don't even think I picked him. This was just, I had some extra gear and I had my other characters built up. There's a couple meme builds throughout this, and the tournament did not go so good. The hardest part of the tournament, first complaint about the game early on, is UI for PvP. Okay, there is live arena, and there's also another arena mode that is in the game. So you come here, you have your general arena, you have summit arena, and there's something called fearless arena. I don't know what this fearless arena is. I don't think it's been in any of the betas yet, but the live arena is going to be just like any live arena you've played on any other game. So the free-to-play experience of this game seems like it's going to be amazing. They have limited the amount of farming you can do. So that means whales cannot go and pay somebody to farm on their account to just get infinite progress and get way ahead of everybody, which is great for people getting into the game. Okay, that part is, I think, fantastic. It's just going to come down to the shop, which packs they end up selling. If there's any super pay to win packs, it'll change my opinion of it. But for right now, it looks good to get into for free to play. Now, the PvE is relatively hard. Okay, you're going to end up having shell drops, which will go over shells. I'll show off the gearing system here in a second. But these fights are pretty challenging. I didn't end up doing any of these. They already gave me max pets, so that's why this isn't cleared. But you have to use your brain, and I like that. It's actually somewhat difficult PvE, which is the beginning of the game. There's not a ton of characters out yet. But overall, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to show you a little bit of a Doki Doki fight. This is where you're going to go and farm for your, say, speed gear and other sets of gear. I'll talk about the gear sets. There is a lot of customization. You do have pets. They're called shells. They give different abilities, and they also give gear sets. So you can mix your pets with the gear that you're farming to finish up certain sets, and you can have like 3 or I think you get up to like 4 different sets on characters. But there's a lot of min-maxing you can do. So with that, any of you guys that are hardcore min-maxers, this is a great game for you. But as you see, it has general animations. It looks like Honkai Star Rail, I guess, is the best game to compare it to in terms of the look of it, but it plays just like any kind of regular PvP gacha game. So that's the farming. Now, there are some sick things with this game. One of the coolest things in here is going to be the ability to background battle. So I'm going to go ahead and exit this battle just to show you. And it is server side. So any of you guys that have played Epic 7, you know you have to leave your game open all the time. You always have to have Epic 7 open on your phone or your computer on an emulator or the PC client. With this, you can click continuous battle. I can start my 80 runs, hit start, and then minimize it for 1, so it has background battling, which is already cool for a game that's just releasing. Absolutely amazing. So I can minimize, I'm back in the main screen, I can do whatever I want from here. I can go do other stages that aren't one of these hunt stages or threshold. But you can close your game. You could open it, start your fight on your phone, close your game, drive home from work, get home, open it on your computer. When you get home, it's done. Okay, the app, you can actually fully close the app because it's server-side farming. One of the greatest inventions of all time. So this makes it to where you can play it on top of your other gachas without any issue. You can just open your phone if you need to farm for the day and try to get some more gear. You can just set it, close it, open another game on your phone, play it, and then once you want to go restart your farm, 30 minutes later, open the game back up, get your items, restart it. So nice. I think that is revolutionary for a gacha game. Now, going back into the characters, though, you saw a little bit of the combat and showing off the couple characters here. My favorite character in the game is probably gonna be Hoyan. She's sick, but one of the issues I have is going to be damage dealers. Damage dealers feel like they do no damage. I have some very big balancing issues with the game so far. There are characters that do, what is her name? Veronica. I wanted to call her Victorica because I've been playing Epic 7 too much. Now, this attack right here removes HP from all enemies equal to 20% of her max HP. So you just build her infinite HP, click that skill, and your opponent's cooked. Like, if you have any kind of damage dealing character, it's just going to basically send you down to nothing. And there's no stress for these bulky characters right now. I had a match that was like 20 minutes long, and I knew I won the match in the first probably 2 minutes of the game. The opponent could not do enough damage. They were never going to do enough damage to break through me. And there's no RNG in the game. There's no dual attacks. I don't think there's 15%. I do not know the effect res versus effect accuracy versus effect res check. I don't know if there's a 15% mechanic. I highly doubt it. As long as you have enough effect accuracy, you're probably gonna land your debuffs as long as they're on 100% chance to land. But it felt terrible knowing that the opponent had 0 chance and we just had to sit there throughout it. I actually am starting to appreciate the dual attack mechanic in Epic 7. You have 5% to dual attack any turn. That's going to allow for miracles to happen. Makes it a more fun watching experience especially, but it can be frustrating. Trust me, I know any of you guys that are against the dual attacking and things like that, but for a game that is trying to get into a esports style of content, which they're trying to host tournaments, I was just in one, you need some excitement in the game. And if people have to sit there through a 20-minute match of you knowing how the outcome's going to be from turn 2, it's a little rough. So HP scaling characters or just the bulky characters of this game are just dominating right now, but that wasn't the case in the first meta. So hopefully they'll do some adjustment, make it feel better. One of the big things with the game is there are so few characters. There's only 30, I believe, or something like that. Not a whole lot. You see this, I have every character in the game that's a dev account. Might not even be 30. Every character that comes to the game is going to be insanely impactful. Okay, that is going to make the game feel pay to win potentially. The problem with having so few characters early on in a game cycle, everything feels too strong. So if you don't get whatever newest character that comes out that is insanely taking over the meta, it's gonna feel a little rough, and that's one of my worries. One of the other things is change the UI. Okay, that tournament I played in, fix the UI. I had 3 seconds left on my timer. I clicked a character, it picked a random character, and I went to select another character past that. I was already like frustrated because I was like, that is not what I did at all. And then I went and picked another character. It put another random character in there, and I basically just closed the game at that point. So that was my match against Sean B. I was super frustrated. And another one of the things that happened in that tournament was I didn't know I had first pick. So I played against an opponent. I had first pick. Whenever that match is over, your opponent's supposed to have first pick, okay? I had first picked again, and I didn't know, and it picked a random character. So that whole tournament was a disaster. I won one match and lost the other 2. Either way, please fix the UI for PvP, at least for the live arena. Make it smoother, because that was not a fun thing. So one of the cool things though is the 4 stars are really good in this game as well. Chiaki, very, very strong character, as well as Sanya. This is going to be just a reviving extra character. That is nice. This character, Viper, is really good. Obel, at the time of release, will be very strong, actually potentially one of the strongest in the game. His debuffs are just insane, and he can be used for some PvE content. The strongest overall character in the game, though, is going to be Doki Doki. There's no competition with that. Doki Doki has cleanse, she has strike push up, you can build her super fast. She's insane. So whenever the game comes out, I will be making some tier lists. I'm waiting to make sure they don't do any changes before I release any of that stuff, so you guys watch it now. And then the game comes, you pull on characters I said were super strong, and then they're not anymore because they had a balance update before the game came out. So trying to hold off on making too much Etheria content, but again, I will be making like a daily progression series for the beta, as well as streaming it. And then when the real game comes out, I will probably have new player guides up that you guys can follow along with, structured just like my Epic 7 stuff. So now with the gear, it took me a long time to get to the gearing portion, but the gear, as you see here, you're gonna have different sets. You farm the different dungeons like I was doing earlier for the sets, and then you get different bonuses dependent upon. So with speed, you can get up 35% speed, but then there's also an additional set that will give you an extra 15% speed. This is like in-game set. It's Swift Smite. There's like 4 or 6 in-game sets like this that give just really good overall stats for 6 pieces of or 6 of the total Swift Smite on your character. Now gear can have up to 3 slots per piece, so you can build some pretty crazy characters. Bulwark is going to be the immunity set of the game. As long as you have 8 for that, you're going to be able to start with immunity, which is very big. There aren't a lot of strippers currently in, so debuffs just feel terrible, and that is just what it is for now. Again, the game will probably change dramatically over the first month or 2 of it being out. Now, with shells, these are going to be like your pets. You farm for these, they give an additional crazy skill. You are going to have passive effects that you can re-roll on to try to get the exact ones you want. They have different rarities. This is the min-maxing of the game. Very expensive to do. During the beta, this is where all my resources end up going, trying to test this out. It drains your resources, but this is trying to just super min-max your character, and I don't know, I feel like it's a little bit too expensive, but the thing is they want this game to last long term, and if you're limited on the amount of farming you can do, to min-max any of your characters is going to take a very long time. So a big part of the early game, whether you're free to play or spending, is probably just going to be who got super lucky is going to have the overall best thing. So, which is kind of gacha games in general. But your gear is going to end up having substats just like any other. Your right side's going to have like effect res, HP, crit chance, crit damage, attack percent, defense percent, and just your regular skills, we can have up to 3. So if a character comes out in this game that doesn't need crit chance, you can go crit damage, crit damage, crit damage, which is absolutely wild. So that part's really cool. And then your left side gear is just your general helmet, sword. They can't roll certain stats on different pieces, and just basic gacha mechanics. So overall, the gearing system is just like any other gearing system you played in a PvP gacha. Nothing special there. The only thing is the set. Different set things you can do is a little bit more customizable than what I'm used to. And then the shells, though, also, as you see at the bottom, have the ability to add into your sets. So you can have 9 here total, and then you get 3 per piece here for another 18. You have 27 total points for different sets. And as you see here, to have all 3 of these, so I just said as you see here like 3 times, but all 3 of these is a total of 26. So I can max out every single one of these sets on her, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of customization there. But my biggest complaints now, the shells. Okay, the shells are going to be, it's my number 1 complaint and fear with the game. The shells, the biggest scare is going to be this one right here. This makes debuffs feel pointless, okay? There are already a bunch of characters that cleanse, put up immunity, and there are very few characters that strip. But the way that you play debuffs in any kind of game is your opponent has to respond with cleansers. With your pet and this pet right here, everyone could just cleanse. So this one just seems way too overtuned, and it cuts off an entire like mechanic and playstyle of the game. And this is, I am very confident this will be potentially their downfall if they don't adjust, because dispelling 3 debuffs when it's hard enough to even get 2 debuffs on the opponent within the first rotation, you can't over debuff them very easily right now, if at all. I don't like that. It's cutting off an entire way of playing, which means the only 2 ways to play the game are going to be bulk down super tanky with your characters, or try to go fast and get, I don't even think you can strip. I don't think you can really cleave in this game right now. It won't work very well. To cleave, you're going to have to use fast HP scaling damage dealers. But if you have watched any of the tournaments or anything, the game has evolved over the last couple betas. Maybe this last beta we'll see some changes, and those little complaints I have will end up getting fixed. So that is just a quick overview of the game and my opinion with it. Again, the game will be coming out in April or May 8th. And then the full game will be coming out a month after that. So if you guys want to play, give it a shot. I will be playing it for sure. And I just wanted to get this video out so you guys knew my opinion of certain things in the game and how it's looking so far. So let me know if you're excited for Etheria Restart release, and I will see you all when the game comes out. Unless you're playing Epic 7, I'll see you before then. But either way, I'll see you soon.